What is going on, everybody? It is Saturday. It is 7 in the morning for me. I am so fired up, you guys. I've had so much caffeine. You have no idea how much caffeine I've had. If my heart explodes and I die, it's been great talking to you guys. Are you guys ready? We're going to have Severin on the show today, the app layer. I love this stuff. Let's get this intro going, you guys. We'll kick it to Kenton. We'll get this party started. For those who have not heard, unbelievably yet, THORChain is the world's leading Bitcoin DEX. You can swap 13 different blockchains across 41 different pools without using bridges or wrap tokens. Check it out at swap.thorchain.org. That is swap.thorchain.org. Anyone in the world can use THORChain. There's no account to open, no KYC required, and privacy is a human right. THORChain has two tokens, Rune and TCY. The fees for swapping on THORChain are paid in Rune, and that's where the yield comes from. The fees are deducted from the swap, so you don't need to own Rune to trade on THORChain. The Rune token is also currently deflationary as 5% of the fees are burned. 10% of protocol fees goes to TCY token holders. Remember to stake the TCY tokens in order to collect this yield. There are no block rewards on THORChain. The protocol's fees are real money paid by real users. THORChain is more than just a DEX. It is a programmable layer 1 with the ability to create decentralized apps on it. This app layer is being developed by Rujira, and that is what we're going to be talking about today, you guys. Remember, if you need help with THORChain in general, join the THORChain community Discord and Telegram group. Links for those are on THORChain.org, THORChain.org. Guys, please follow THORChain on Facebook and Instagram, THORChain Contact on TikTok. We need 1,000 followers to live stream on those platforms. And always remember, guys, this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, investment, or legal advice. The THORChain community does not endorse or condone illicit activity of any kind. Same thing with the Rujira community as well. With that being said, you guys, let's get this party started. My name's Denny, love THORChain, been doing it for a long time, going on 6 years, educating. Oh man, it's such a blast being part of the revolution that is what we're building here. Kenton, I'm going to go ahead and kick it to you. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thanks, man. I was actually just thinking about a bit of an update with marketing. I don't really have much. Just been like kind of putting out fires, just like tying up some loose ends, just some grunt work. As far as meaty stuff for you guys, I don't think much has changed since Thursday. Um, yeah. So, well, we got the rake put out. We did our first blog post on the new live site. So ironing out a bit of kinks with that, getting the blog sorted out. So we own before we were using Ghost, and Ghost is kind of like I don't know, like a Substack or whatever, where it's a nice, easy blog platform, but they own it. They control the data, basically, right? So I wanted to make sure we own and control our data. So all our blog posts we own and control. Um, and then so we have like a new interface for creating the blogs. So just having the guys get a bit used to that and fixing some bugs on it. So if you notice the last blog post was maybe quite the same or similar or is missing a few things, let us know. I think we've noticed most of it and we'll fix it, get it up, get it going. Um, but yeah, now we own all our data. So, like all those blog posts, there's like 560 blog posts that were like on Medium and all these other, and now it's all on our domain, thorchain.org. And so the goal with that was to like just build a spider web of web pages to have people come to THORChain. So if they're searching THORChain online or whatever, maybe something that isn't THORChain related, but somehow is covered on a blog post, they come to our site and they get trapped in our spider web of web pages. So with having the blog on our site, now we've got like, well, yeah, another 560 pages as opposed to like 10 or 12. So, in theory, we have that much more potential to catch somebody in our spider web. So pretty happy about that. That actually took longer than you think, guys. There's like, I don't know, 8 different, actually even more like 12 different people with articles, authors on Medium to get everything all migrated over. So, and then now too, with the blog on our domain, that should give it some more authority. right? It's just some rando on Medium. How do you know to trust this guy or not? And there's lots of scam authors on Medium too. So at least on our THORChain.org domain, when somebody publishes something, the community can be more confident that this is legit, right? So, um, and we do want to have it, if you're publishing stuff like on your Medium or doing articles on Twitter or whatever, but publish them on our blog. We want to have editorials, right? So if you have something you like, maybe it's controversial, like Boone, he likes to uh, point things out and speak his mind. I hope he writes articles on the blog, right? If you have something that goes counter to the current narrative on THORChain, don't feel like you have to do it on the fringe. Like, come to us and we'll put it on. It can't be just whining and complaining. You got to have an actual, argument. But so the blog for us isn't about, we're not trying to censor. We want to have a common platform for everyone to contribute that we can all trust is real, like from real community members. And hopefully too with AI that they recognize it and see it, that this is all our content on our domain, so it should give it more authority. Um, so yeah, so uh, actually maybe actually there's something bit of an update I can give you guys. I have been working on now the site is done. I can finally start focusing more on driving traffic to it and getting people actually coming to the site. So this is why the website's been a bane of my existence for the last several months, because it's just taken forever. And there's still gonna be some tweaks and fixes. It's always gonna be updated. But now it's good enough that we can send people to it. And so now I can focus more on actual outreach and actually trying to get people coming in. So uh yeah, I've started we're gonna do some marketing through DeFi Llama. Um Sal the Agorist, gonna do some marketing on his show. His audience is exactly our audience, like 100%. Like, they're all uh, anti-establishment, want to be out of TradFi, right? Like every one of his audience members should be using THORChain. So I feel pretty good about that one. Hopefully we'll get some traction out of that. And then I'm working on some others. And and then eventually like I'll do some pay-per-click, pay-per-view, right? So trying to get traffic coming. But the main thing I kind of want to get going now is getting articles published out there. So like public relations, trying to really um, change the narrative about THORChain online. So when you Google THORChain, that it's not just THORChain's money laundering or THORChain's hack or whatever, that some positive articles come up. And basically, we just have to create that. And so I'm starting to get a more pipeline of these articles done. I was just starting to do it, and then the hack happened. And so I put it all on pause, and I hired Market Across to help us with PR for the hack. And they told me just be quiet, lay low for a bit, and then they're going to contribute to the positive article stuff too. So, hopefully the next like week or two, maybe whenever trading resumes and we can be confident everything's okay, we can start getting these articles going. So my goal is like by the end of the year to have like upwards of 100 articles published all online. Um, the we have to pay for it. These aren't free. I think our real limiting factor is going to be um, writing them, not so much paying for them. So um, so yeah, that's my goal for the rest of the year is to get at least 50 articles out. And that'll help building this marketing funnel for us to get people to swap. And I promise you guys, I'm going to write up a blog post myself about, my plans, how I'm thinking, how this all fits together, how it's all structured. And hopefully that'll be easier for you to appreciate and understand than this explanation I just patched together. But I'm building a giant funnel for us so that when people come in, they funnel down to swap.thorchain.org, right? And so I got to start with the bottom of the funnel, right? So I'm building this funnel up basically, and so the wider it is at the top, the better chance we get people falling into it and coming down to swap on us. Um, I think when I write it out, do a report on it, an essay on it, you guys will understand, make more sense. Um, so yeah, so that's it for me. And maybe I'll kick it over to Severin here. You can give us, if you don't mind, Severin, just give us a quick intro about yourself and your journey in crypto and how you found THORChain.
Yeah, and nice to meet you guys. Yeah, it's been quite a journey, I would say. Yeah, I'm like a software engineer since like 30 years, and was like working the first 10 years in like enterprise, mostly Microsoft stack, and then found like open source technologies like 15, 20 years ago, and yeah, never went back ever since. So yeah, and yeah, my crypto journey is also. I mean, it's now like a little bit more than a decade. So yeah, I was around when Ethereum launched and the DAO got hacked. So yeah, there was quite some waves, I would say.
Did you own Ethereum? Did we one of the ICO investors?
No,
Oh,
a little bit later, but
yeah.
yeah. But we mined it, but we stopped mining it because we only got like $5 a day, but Ethereum was like $6. So yeah, but yeah, old times.
That's awesome. You've been around for a while, man. That's OG status right there. So it's really cool to see, you here just keep firing it away, and gets me really excited for you to talk about what you're doing, man, and what you're
Yeah.
building. Super cool.
So yeah, then it was like I think it was 18, 19, and then it crashed everything, and I went away somehow, and then I completely missed this DeFi summer when all these Uniswap and stuff launched. But I returned later, and then I found like Terra Luna, yeah, which told its own story. Yeah, so there is still pretty much PTSD there around, but yeah, never die. So yeah, and then it was like how I found like the Rujira team actually, because they started on the Terra blockchain as liquidator of these liquidations, and then they actually built their order book market on chain and even launched it like 1 week before everything crashed. So yeah, that was pretty hard to see. And yeah, then they restarted with their own chain and built everything new. And yeah, in Meetup, I heard about THORChain like in the beginning, but I had no money to invest. So then it went up quite a lot. And yeah, then later a friend reminded me about yeah, when it was like I think the first time again under $1, like around 80 cents. And then like a few months later, it was already at $6 again. So yeah, it looked like I missed that train. And so I found more like Cacao Maya chain first. And yeah, started digging there because they were also connecting to Kuchira to actually trade there. Yeah, and then let's say the Kuchira team fucked up their leverage of the treasury, and yeah, had to be saved for like. I mean, in the end, it was like 3 million, which it's not that much in DeFi, but in the end, it's still a lot of money if you need to pay it. So yeah, and then they migrated to THORChain, which then also blew up soon after arrival. And now, like 2 years later, we are still here, and I think we're building some awesome things. And yeah, now I mean the hack is another. Yeah, I'm not sure, just another
Every pain point we
stone in the
learn
way.
is just is another lesson, and we just keep getting better and better. And yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, when you're building something truly new, right? I mean, these things you're just hacking through this dense jungle and just carving this enormous path, right? And it's been a journey for everyone, Luna for you, everything. But it's funny now that you said that, because Station Wallet is being brought back. And it seems like there's like this upwelling again, like this momentum, like it's really turning around, I feel like. Well, that's pretty cool.
yeah, that will be like the loop when there is also like a stable coin with Bitcoin backed, and then we went full around, right?
What is the story with the Station Wallet? I'm out of the loop there. So that was the main wallet for Terra Luna, right? And then now
Yes.
is JP taking it over? Is Voltisig taking it over or something?
Yeah, it was like now it's taken over by Multisig and I think Rujira. And it's more like a agentic version of Multisig, let's say.
And so how uh this could be a good intro for some old Terra Luna users to get into Rujira and THORChain, right? That
Definitely.
that's pretty cool. So like I had another question. Oh, that's right. I had a bond provider talking about some kind of station wallet airdrop, and turns out it was a scam. So, is there anything going on for station wallet, any kind of airdrop or anything like that, or are people going to be worried about scams?
I think there is some stuff going on with the Volt token, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Do you know Denny?
I don't know actually,
Okay.
and
All right.
yeah, I would assume just people to be safe, assume it's a
Yeah.
scam until you clarify that it's not, of
Be,
course,
yeah. Vigilant, people, because this BP of mine, he's smart enough to keep asking. He's like, something isn't right, and he kept asking questions. Have you guys heard about this? Whatever. Anyway, he eventually figured out it was a scam. So, and but he had like, all these like Sig and station wallet moderators in his DMs, or he thought they were mods or whatever. So yeah, be careful out there, guys. Um, um, okay, cool. So that's been your journey now, Severin. It's been a tumultuous one, but you're here, you're alive, you're still smiling. Um, what's making you smile now? What are you doing, working on now? I mean, you're more than just an investor, right? You've been now you're contributing, right?
True, true. I mean, yeah, it started like in the Terra days. And there it was like just for me to have like, I mean, there was so many projects starting on Terra. You really had this Cambrian explosion where you had a lot of building teams like launch pads and projects. And so I tried to just keep track of all of them, like who is building what. And it really exploded there. It was like 10, 15 projects building. And yeah, I started with the website called Terra Engineer, and just was like more a tracker and a little bit of smart contract querying. It's not actual smart contract engineering, but just query the data in it. Yeah, because I found that a lot of people say the stuff is public anyway, you just need to look on the chain, but not everybody has the skill to actually look at it. I mean, it changed these days with the AI. But in the end, it's like just Web2 queries where you can get a lot of stuff out of the contracts. And yeah, so I started just implementing like also fun project because the platform is always like a side project for me, just like to visualize or to track data. Yeah. And I mean, this evolved like over the years. I spent quite a lot of time engineering various, also for the NFT communities, which I have a nice connection to, because in the end, it's like the people you met on the journey, right? So yeah,
Nice. What do
and
you? No, good.
yeah, and I also saw that this feedback of community give me much more than like in the job you get a salary and like maybe a thank you. But if you get a few community feedbacks like I really like this NFT browser or whatever, that felt much more empowering. So yeah.
Nice. Well, do you want to walk us through Deving.zone? So, yeah, do you want to like what's the overall gist of the site? Like, what's your goal with it for yourself and the user?
I mean, yeah, for me, it's just like at the moment I was, I mean, there was a transition between the Terra side and the new one because I let it like dormant for like a year and a half or stuff. And then started tracking stuff for Maya chain. And then because Cosmos, I mean, THORChain is actually also Cosmos SDK based. So the smart contract logic and indexer stuff could be reused. And then recently I removed all the Terra V1 stuff and really switched like to make it more like for the omni-chain, like the THORChain as the infrastructure and Rujira as like the app layer. and also all the different teams building around. Because I still think there is a lot of teams and projects which are building right now, and too many or not a lot of people are aware what they actually already built and what's already there to use. So yeah, for me, it's more like make the whole ecosystem a little bit more visible. And it's not about building like another block explorer, because there is also a lot of nice other projects from a lot of cool guys. I would say there is a lot of, because that was really cool to see in the THORChain community, that there were so many like community tools, like also the, oh, I don't have the URLs right now, but you know, there are all these like small sites with tools and block explorers, and also now
Mhm.
Boone also built some like tracking for this, and then the Rujira data guy built like an interface for this. So yeah, there is still a lot of let's say domains where you can actually go to and actually interact with THORChain.
I love it. And here
Cool.
you are building something, similar. You are keeping on with that. I love when people take initiative and just build really cool things. Started with Cal, shout out to Miller Cal, Rune.tools, now Boone.tools stepping up, and now Deving.zone, right? I love it. And particularly to Kenton's point, right? We have this huge untapped well of community, especially from the Terra Luna days, where they love Station Wallet, they love the primitives, they love the UX and the experience. And I'm hoping we can not only copy that UX, but actually improve upon it as well. So I'm excited, man. Maybe this is the time to screen share, and maybe we can go through your site and kind of just see what you got. Awesome. Here we go. Perfect.
Yeah, so yeah, I still struggle a little bit to actually organize the information on the site, because it's not that easy to, okay, what's like actual
So
the
true.
It's
structure.
not, man. Like, so it's on with the website, the
Yeah,
THORChain.org site. Like, it's like writing a giant essay, giant report, and I'm like, man, how do I organize all this and make it simple and lay it out? And like, it's a lot harder than it sounds.
yeah. I mean, there
So
is
I
also
feel
like
you.
the term information architecture, which is actually what it is, that you need to architect how you want to present all the information. And yeah, so at the moment, it's still a little bit back and forth. I split it like this is like Tor L1. So you have like the really the layer one stuff, right? So actually THORChain. And then um, is like more DeFi, which is Rujira and some other products. And then it's more about the whole ecosystem, which like the teams, the projects, also the DAOs, because DAO also launched on THORChain. So there is working DAOs there. Then you have all the wallets, all the front ends, and some visualization. And then it's more about like data. And this is more like my playground to play around with the various APIs, be it like THORChain or Midgard or the new Rujira analytics API. And then I have some really low level dev data, like all the contracts deployed, all the codes, all the sources of the codes. So this is more like really low level stuff, and also like some THORChain internals. But at the moment, the focus is not on like operator or mimirs or voting. So it's more like the app layer and the swap part. Yeah.
I love it. You put a lot of work into the site, man, and that is actually a pretty interesting way, to Kenton's point, how difficult it is to take such an enormous
Yeah.
machine like THORChain and the app layer, of course, and to make it in a visually appealing way where people can dissect the information in an efficient manner, right? You've put a lot of thought into work into this website. I'm curious if you're going to support any swap functions on your direct UI, or do you intend on this to be specifically an information hub? Because I think you deserve a little affiliate fee for putting in this awesome work here, man. This is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I can show you here if you have the THORChain part. You have just some information about THORChain. I mean, I started with the AI. It's pretty cool to do stuff like that, because before the layout was always like, yeah, I should hire a designer to make it like more design style. But now with the AI, it's pretty cool to actually also developer backend mostly also do some front end polishing without having to hire a front end developer or engineer. And yeah, then I started, for example, with the blockchains. I mean, THORChain, that's pretty cool that you are connected to 13 different blockchain, and each of them is a little bit different. So my site is not really like it's not like a WordPress. It's actually a really application with like a database. So all of these are actual records. Like this is a network, and so it's all structured information, which later also enables some pretty cool functions, because if you go to one of the chains, let's say Avalanche, then you can also see all the meta information. And now recently I added like all the routes and all the pairs. Or if you want to see, okay, this is the Avalanche, which actually has multiple chains on it, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff to play around.
That's
And
freaking
Wait, what are those
cool.
connections? Like, are those actual trades, or is it just you just kind of made a cool graphic?
no, that's just all the pools, the
All the
L1 pools.
on THORChain. Okay.
On THORChain, yes. So let's say let's pick another one. I mean, Bitcoin is an easier one, because here you only have the Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
No other coin on this chain. But actually you have either you can switch to, let's say, Litecoin, or on Ethereum, there is 16 different coins actually on the Ethereum chain, which are available to swap.
I gotcha.
And now they are just collapsed. And if you click on it, you can actually see all the tokens on Ethereum and their pools, the swap pools.
That's pretty cool, man.
And you can also click on the edges here, because actually this is the L1 route, BTC, let's say to, I mean, there is also a lot of weird token. I'm not aware what this, like the Tor token, I think it's from a wallet. And
Yeah.
yeah, there is some weird coins,
course.
but I mean, the USDC is the famous one, right?
Yeah.
And for example, here you have also like, if you go to the list of all the pools, and then you go to like one pool, I mean, you can see basically it's like a little bit search engine testing with all the routes. And this is actually now the route from BTC to USDC. And at the moment, there is no interface here on the site. I just had a deep link to STO and the one to Rujira. So back to your question, Danny, I'm not sure yet at the moment if I should add my own interface for swapping, or if I just deep link to one of the providers. And I'm also not sure if any of them actually embedded a like affiliate fee, or if you need to get the affiliate fee. I mean, normally you also need to actually provide the front end, right?
So the answer is no. At least on THORChain. I'm pretty sure Rujira. Well, actually, I think Rujira is working on one. They might already have it. I don't know, but I can tell you from THORChain side, there is no deep link affiliate fee yet. And so I've been talking to Chad and Randy about it. I'm like, guys, I think we really need to do this, where instead of, and like, this is your perfect example, Severin. So you can have a site like yours, instead of you adding your own interface or adding on affiliate fee on top of the THORChain fees, you just have a deep link to our swap interface. It registers your Thor name, and then you get a percentage of the THORChain fees. And because I feel pretty strongly that, just adding the fee on top of THORChain isn't enough for adoption. Um, and people that are smart, they're going to know they can sidestep your website and go straight to thorchain.org and skip the affiliate fee, right? So I don't know that we're going to be able to scale to the volume, like 100x, 1000x our volume, just with affiliate fees on top. I think we have to give a referral fee too. So so stay tuned for that, Severin. Just keep an eye on us, what we're doing. And when it's ready to go, would love to have you as the first one. But it is something I want to do and push forward.
As I know
Yeah.
Kenton really appreciates that link to STO. That just makes his heart, so happy, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that as well.
Well, and
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, Danny, I'm interrupting you.
Go ahead, brother. You're good. No, go ahead.
No, and I appreciate your work too, Severin. I mean, you put a lot of work into the site. The last thing you need to do is spend more work creating a swap interface, right? Like, you should just be able to link. Just be able to link to us and get paid for it. So Cool. Yeah. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And in your interest to do that. So
Cool.
let's definitely we'll stay in
Yeah, I
touch.
mean, I already tried to actually build like a swap interface myself, like a year ago or so. But the hard part was actually to make it because this whole thing is like built with Ruby on Rails, and it was super hard to integrate the JavaScript with this whole pipeline and stuff. And but nowadays with the I retried it and I did some small proof of concept because I mean, the like all the wallet connect is like a super pain. And because it's a lot of wallet, because I saw that with Rujira as well, like connecting to 13 chains with like 20 wallets is like crazy amount of work. And but I recently did some small prototyping and it was pretty easy to just make it work like with Kepler, which was also super cool to see to actually connect to a wallet on the website. But I was using it for a different feature because there was always my idea to have like a super small donation feature. And recently I actually built it. So there is now a small link here on the donation page, which then you can actually choose an amount and just connect, and it just connects with Kepler. And it actually works and it calculates the rune and it sends to a target address.
Zoom in a bit here in case somebody's watching the video wants to take a shot with their phone.
I'm not sure about the QR codes because, I mean, in the end, it's just the address. I was also researching about these payment URLs because, yeah, I mean, sending payments is still a little bit of pain, even if crypto is 10 years old. There is no like defined scheme for opening the app and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So, yeah.
curious.
Sorry?
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I'm curious. The whole point of having, like, let's say, memoless on THORChain is to abstract away a lot of the complexity. I don't know if you've tried to dabble with that at all to maybe just get like a temporary, swap feature with just memoless only. I actually need to ask, and obviously we're paused right now, so it's kind of irrelevant. But I wonder if that's something you've tried to play with.
Not yet, because here it was super simple, just about sending like to another address, right? And even that was like with the JavaScript. First, it was like, yeah, pretty complicated, but then it's super easy in the end to just send some stuff. And I mean, that's just a message send in the end, right? And the other thing is more about the swap. I mean, I was following this memoless swap, and I think now the implementation is the one with the encoded in the last bits of the amount. But yeah, I definitely want to have a look at, but at the moment I don't have a wallet, which I mean, yeah, but it was just not a high priority to build actually a own swap.
And that's another thing too. So we want to build a widget so that for like
Yeah,
yourself, Severin, you can just a few lines of code, have the widget on your site, and the first version one of that will just be memoless because that'll be the easiest for us to roll out. And in theory, it should be the easiest for your users. They can use any wallet, whatever. Um, so that's. I have a few other things I want to prioritize on STO first. I want to get. I think we need to get the pool page, liquidity providing done, the Thor name, and the affiliate. How to manage your if you're an affiliate, how to manage your affiliate address and your affiliate fees. I want to get those pages done so that when we start going to people to incorporate the widget or the deep link or whatever, it's easy for them to manage their Thor name and their affiliate fees and everything like that. So I'm hoping to get that stuff done in the next like 2 weeks. We'll see how the Ensemble guys do, and with any bugs or issues we have to fix along the way. Um, but then once we get the Thor name and affiliate pages up, then I think we're going to work on the widget. So um, so soon, TM, we'll have that widget. It's definitely
yeah, I like it.
we're closer to it than away from it.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so I was just playing around, and then I also like started tracking like addresses because I mean there's like the core module of the bond modules and stuff, which are also like normal addresses, but then you also have like all the smart contracts. And then yeah, it got pretty expensive. So I mean here in the THORChain, it's basically just the chains and the pools. And then for the Rujira here, it's more about the assets because it was quite a pain on THORChain. There's a lot of different kind of assets. You have like here, like the app layer token, which are actually from the smart contracts. So meaning like this, yeah, also even Brune or all the tokens from the actual smart contracts. But you
Well,
also have
are those secured assets?
no,
No.
because they are like minted by the smart contracts on the THORChain. Let's say the receipt token for your deposit of lending or all these tokens. And
Okay.
these, they are not a secured asset, but then you also have the secure asset, as you said, like all the secured asset, and also the native tokens, which are more like the one that are instantiated by THORChain itself and all the migration token and stuff like that. Because that's what actually started my site for the new part, was like that for the Rujira, I built this like the migration tracker where we could track like who has migrated, and also like all the yeah, you could I mean, it's basically on chain, right? So you can see that these guys swapped that many Gucci and they got that many. So here was like a tracking of the whole merger process, each contract, where there were like 6 or 7. So yeah, that's how, I mean, now it's deprecated because the migration is done. There is still the migration pending for the Auto and the Manta, which is now liquidity. And yeah, so that's how I restarted the site actually. And then I started adding like basic data, like for the
Can we,
ecosystem.
sorry, Severin, can we go back to DeFi? You got TCY on there. I'm curious why you have TCY under the Rujira button.
Because it's DeFi for me. That's what I mean. I maybe should remove the 2 logos here, but
Okay.
I mean, yes, it's L1 somehow, but I mean the effect is like you get a yield on something. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's actually matching into L1. For me, it's more like a DeFi product now as it exists.
Okay.
But yeah,
Can we
still
see
not.
what do you have on the TCY page? What does it show?
Yeah, it's basically an explanation of how the yield share token works and why it exists. And then there is also like a small link to the TCY website to manage the TCY.
Great.
And here is also like various kind of links to all the different tools there are, like from Rune Tools, because this is something I want to extend in the future, because there's a lot of projects and links flying around. And some of them are super nice, and I don't like bookmarks, so I rather build them in my site to actually use them.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and then here I started tracking like actual the DeFi products of Rujira, like the order book trading, which yeah, they built, which I think it's quite a nice product, because and at the moment it's 28 markets trading. I mean, yeah, it's they trading, even the deposit and withdrawal are halted at the moment. And yeah, so this is more like a little bit more information about these products, and then always like a deep link to their docs or to their website. And also the same for land and borrowing. And yeah. And then what I really think is now pretty cool is like I started tracking like the basic things, like the teams, the projects, the different front end, different wallets, and they are all linked together. And yeah, if you have a team or I mean, I started from the app layer, right? So there may be a lot of teams in the layer 1 missing, but yeah, I think we can also easily add them, because if you look at the teams, there's a lot of teams building, like from the THORChain team, including everybody behind the THORChain brand. Then the Maya chain, Rujira, DAO, which deployed their DAO tooling, liquidity, which actually is a DAO managing capital on Rujira. Then the Cacao Swap guys, which more maybe Maya and Yum allocated. Then Station Wallet, the Auto Rujira guys for the automation. the Mocha guy, which I really like with their solution. I highly recommend having everybody look at them. Redacted and Calc for like automation and DCA. So, I mean, that's just like the surface, let's say.
I love it, man.
Nice.
You have put so much work into this website, and especially like your links on the bottom on the other sites, trying to just bring all of these great tools together into a simple to give everyone just immediate access to all the wonderful things that people have built. I can clearly tell this is like a passion project for you.
Yeah.
And I want to just ask you, I know this kind of harkens back to your intro, but I always like to just pick someone's brain, like why are you doing this? Like what motivates you? Where does this passion come from? Why are you putting all this amazingly hard work to build this really wonderful interface?
Wow, good question. I think it's like the passion was similar to with the Terra, because I really liked the ecosystem that everybody was building, and for me it was more like this is something I can easily contribute, and it also helps me because a lot of tool I built basically for my own to have a look inside the DCA or just to make stuff visible, and then I got really nice feedback from community, which then motivates me again. So yeah, and I really think, I mean, yeah, it's cool to have like a try at least to have an overview of the whole ecosystem evolving, because I mean maybe in 1 or 2 years we won't be able to keep up with everything building on top,
I
because
love it, man.
the stuff will grow.
I
Because
love it. And
that's
you
what I
go
experienced
ahead.
with Terra. In Terra, it was really in the first. I mean, it was like after Columbus 5 launch, and then there were like a few products, and then like every month a new team launched and a new product arrived, and it was crazy to see everybody building, because it was permissionless, right? And here, I mean, it's a little bit different, but still there will be a lot of cool projects building on top. I already know, I mean, you can see them here already.
Yeah, especially like, there's a lot like that passion in the Terra Luna community. Like, I mean, it's awful what happened. And by the way, I'm still convinced that that was like orchestrated, manufactured. Like that was somebody forced it to collapse. So I feel bad for everybody. But everyone's passion and interest in crypto doesn't go away, right? So if that whole community starts learning more about THORChain, starts getting interested, um, that could be huge, for THORChain and for them, have somewhere new to come to go and work on and I'm never saying never, but I like to think THORChain will survive and we won't suffer any of that same fate. Um, so yeah, dude,
Well,
I believe you. I agree with you. We're going to see a lot
yeah, I
more
mean,
teams coming over.
in hindsight, there was clearly a bug in the mechanic of Terra Luna, and you cannot deny that. Um, and I mean, I was also heavily into it, and then in hindsight, there was like a video which one guy was like 30 minutes complaining why it will crash, and then like 10 minutes why it maybe work. And if you're fully into it, you only hear the last 10 minutes, yeah, it will work. And you completely ignore all the warnings. And that's why I also really like that we have like voices against stuff, or like you really need to listen to them as well, because maybe they point you to something you don't see.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I see that all the time. There's, a lot of people get frustrated. Someone comes up with a really good idea. Let's just say your idea is good. And let's say it's 100% it's going to work. If there's pushback against that, don't take that personally. This is just a vetting process for good ideas. Our danger, the thing that can kill whether THORChain, app layer, the whole system, is ourselves, right? We start sniffing our own farts. We get too invested in what we build and we don't listen to the objections. I mean, it's just a vetting process. So I'm really glad there's people in the community on both sides who push back on ideas. That's what we need. Obviously history proves that, right? So yeah, well said, guys.
Yeah, and then I started extending like from the teams. The teams have projects, right? Because a lot of team build multiple projects. So there's even more projects building on of these teams. And then, I mean, recently there were a few DAOs launched on THORChain, actually. I mean, Liquidity is maybe the most famous one. I'm not sure how aware are you what Liquidity is doing.
I'm not actually.
I'm
Tell
not.
us. Fill
Yeah.
me in.
You
Yeah.
definitely should. You definitely should. I'm not sure the first history, but in the end, it was like a DAO born on Rujira, which just raised capital to invest on the app layer and on Rujira these days, like with LP and stuff like that. And they also survived the crash and migrated now their capital to THORChain app layer mostly. And it's around 700 or 800K. And it's fully managed by a DAO structure. So it's maybe like 20, 30 peoples around, which managing this capital. And yeah, they also invested heavily in like having nice reporting tools. So really like financial reports with like monthly reports and all that stuff. Even if the positions are still small compared to the best days, let's say. But yeah, they're still around and doing really professional work. So I really like it. And yeah, I mean, you can see here, it's basically linked everything. Yeah, I mean, the DAO is deployed and you have the votings going on here for this team. And they also wrote some small tools and apps, and you can track their treasury on the site here. And you can see the market making at the moment with the Rujira app layer. I mean, at the moment, it's like 400K deployed to the CCL position. And yeah, it's pretty cool how they even created like nice dashboards so you can actually see inside their whole treasury and everything. So it's super transparent. But I mean, at the moment, it's nothing happened because the low layer one is stopped, right?
Yeah. We got to
But
get these guys in the podcast, Denny.
Yeah,
And
we believe we talked to them before a long time ago. Yeah,
did
we need to do a refresher 100%.
definitely,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
and I don't think I have them on the ecosystem page on the website, so I got to get them on there. Severin, I'm going to go through your site, see if I missed any projects I got to put on
Yeah, yeah,
That's
vice
great.
on the
versa.
THORChain.org ecosystem.
Vice versa, because I saw you have also a lot of like really OG THORChain tools and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was actually for me. It was part of the fun going through that ecosystem page. Took me weeks, you guys.
Okay.
And it was kind of neat, kind of like almost like memory lane, and also just like, oh yeah, there's this, oh yeah, there's that, and so, but obviously, like, if I missed anything, if there's anything out there, tell me, please, because like I was saying, I can't know it all, I can't see it all. So,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to going through your site some more, Devon, and um, uh, uh, f- uh, filling in some of my holes, the things I missed that you caught. So, thank you.
And then there is like I mean, you have all the wallets, which is another kind of infrastructure piece. And I mean, there are so many. It's crazy. And even like Hans, I saw that, for example, if you want to have the XMR or like some special coins, you need also their wallet because it's the only one they have. Um, and yeah, so you have like the wallets, and the other thing is like the front ends
Wait a
because
minute,
you
wait a minute. Those wallets all support THORChain tokens?
yeah, mm, I would say yeah, pretty sure.
Are you
I
sure?
mean,
So even the Coinbase wallet that supports THORChain?
yeah, it's supported on like Leodex or like Shapeshift Web. They and Rujira, they
Oh,
support connecting with Coinbase.
you can connect it to those
Yes,
sites.
yes.
Okay,
And
okay, okay.
I mean, some of or a lot of them don't support THORChain, so you cannot actually use them on the app layer as well. But you can, for example, onboard assets from this chain because they, for example, control Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's also why now Rujira on their website now focused on like, I think these three wallets, like with Multisig, you can basically do everything. And also with Kepler. So Kepler is I would say, if you want a seed phrase, go with this one, otherwise go with Multisig. And the new one will be Station, right? And I mean, these are like the best for actually using for the app layer at the moment, definitely.
This is really cool, man. I love this. You know, it's funny when you're going through all this stuff. It's we have so much going on that I can't even keep up. Okay, what's going on here? I need to shut up. Tell me about this. I
Yeah,
see. It's like
For shiny
same.
movie things.
Moving things, jingling your keys.
I'm fighting, Kevin.
Yeah,
You're jingling your keys. I'm a cat. I'm ready to go. Let's hear it.
yeah, it's basically the same, just visualized, because here you can see the different teams and what their project they're building, and if there is a DAO involved managing funds. And it just jumps around because the graph did not stabilize.
Can you zoom in a bit, please?
Yes, sure.
Okay, there you go. That's better. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, for example, THORChain, I already tracked. Yeah, there's the layer 1 swap project and there is TCY project, right? I mean, there is much more, but yeah, it has some funny animation. But it's basically the same what you saw here with the teams, the DAOs, and the projects. It's basically this information visualized. Yeah.
It looks like an evolution, like a bunch of organisms are like competing for
Yeah,
resources
exactly.
and stuff. Yeah, like a
Because
petri dish or something.
Well, the cells of the
Yeah.
THORChain ecosystem.
yeah, in a recent podcast you showed from a project, I'm not sure which one, the privacy one, which they had the super nice visualization of their chain.
Oh, Quai network?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which they building the blocks. And actually what I did, I used their repository and just told Claude to rewrite it for THORChain. And it didn't complete 100%, but I think it will be pretty cool to see THORChain visualized in a similar way as well.
Dude, I would love that. I
Yeah.
love these tools. Some tools I just have them like I'll put them on my screen and just let them play. Like I remember many times I've had like the burn tracker and things like that. So if you make a visualization tool, I guarantee you I will use it. I love it, man. So
Okay,
cool.
I will show you the first proof of concept later because I already did a few.
Yeah. Okay, awesome, man. That's freaking cool. I mean, I remember what it was. This was years ago, but there was a graph, some sort of animation where you could see swaps coming in real time, like across this. It was really cool. Like, what is happening on THORChain, and like when it's busy, you have a busy day. It's like is really interesting to watch, to see all the different movements, like a living system. So that stuff's really cool. And that's something we could show people too. You're like, hey, this is how busy THORChain is. Look at all the stuff moving around. People love that stuff. We're simple creatures. And so,
Definitely,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I like in the app layer, because the people like to do stuff, like go there and claim some yield or managing some positions and do stuff, right? So yeah. Yeah, and then I mean, here the data is more like really like lower stuff, like with the addresses and transactions. It's not the full explorer, but just analyzing some transactions. So if you go there, you can go to let's say smart contracts, and you want to know which of these contracts, let's say the order book on app layer is doing stuff, and you can go to it. And on this address, you have probably an error right now. No, it's just like also here, it's all the tools linked. So you can link to the RuneScan, to the THORChain, to whatever. Even Mocha has its own transaction explorer. And I started also with the values, but it's pretty hard to actually do a proper portfolio tracking, because you need to have all the values of all the coins, and especially with like things like B Rune or which yeah. So that's still a little bit pending, but here you can just see activities of addresses. And what I recently added is this search, which I also think is pretty cool. So here you can actually search for anything. So you can search for, let's say, Mocha, and you can find the team and you directly go there. Or you can search for TCY and you go to the asset. Or you can also search for address and stuff. So I started building a pretty nice search here. So because it's quite a lot of information on the page already.
Yeah, and I wonder if you can add like a AI helper at some point. And you've obviously had so much, right? Like, some people who are new, like, what do you want to see? I want to see,
Yeah.
I want to swap this, or I want to make a loan or something, and it just already like pops everything up. So, yeah, because it's very vast, but we're going through it, and all this stuff is unique and different. And despite this like you've done a really good job, man. Like the huge amount of information you have put on here, and you've made it pretty freaking intuitive. I gotta say, I like it a lot. It makes sense.
Yeah, it got better recently. So at the moment, because before I was not really, it's not completed, but which project is completed anyway? So
Well, I want to say when we first booked this podcast, like you've already changed the site a lot. You've already updated a
Yeah,
lot since then,
yeah.
right? Like when I first went through it, I want to say you've added a lot already in the last few weeks, several weeks. So
Yeah, it was mostly restructuring and making stuff visible.
yeah,
Because yeah, the menu was much more confusing than before. But yeah, so yeah, and
yeah,
then I also started adding, like, for example, on Rujira, you have the pairs. Currently, not a lot of activity, but you can also filter here and search for volume, and it's more like a simple explorer. And the same is for this is pretty cool for the custom concentrated liquidity, where you can see like the bigger positions that have been deployed, and also the range which they are actually bidding. For example, here for Bitcoin, there is a, like, what's that? It's somehow weird. Yeah, so it's more like just information browsing. It's this whole data explorer part. And recently, I want to, for me, visualize like the potential routes which exist only on the app layer, which is like similar to what we saw here. We have here like the Rujira routing, and here you can see basically all the order books and their volume, which now is super low. But you can see here, for example, the rune B rune, and like USDC is like the most common pair. But you can also see like the arbitrage routes here, for example, from USDC to BTC to back to Ethereum, and like the volumes, which now are obviously super low. And if you click on it, you actually come to this order book, which is the order book on the app layer, and you see a load of metrics and just like some data. Yeah.
can you go back to that previous visual, please?
Sure.
So all those purple circles, that means you just haven't uploaded a logo yet.
Yeah, true.
So are they all SVG files?
Yeah.
I can share you what I have so far.
Okay.
I've
Yeah,
got a
cool.
bunch. I'll send them to
Because
you.
it's quite a pain to
It is,
collect all these logos and yeah.
dude. Trust. Well, that's part of what's taking me so long. It's like you guys don't believe how much work it is to get these logos, and
Yeah.
in SVG. If you when we're done, I can share a little tip how I've been doing it. I'll tell you. I'll tell you now. Maybe the audience wants to hear. There's a site called Vectorizer.io
Yeah.
or .ai, and you can convert a PNG or JPEG to an SVG. And it's actually really good. If the image is simple, it works perfect. And then I'll take it to Claude and you can upload the SVG file to Claude and play with it. And like, change the image size, the canvas size, or add this, add that. Because the SVG file is just a text file. Which was interesting to know. I didn't know that before. And so Claude's pretty good at fixing them and playing with the SVG files. You don't actually need
Mhm.
a like Adobe or anything. So, but yeah, dude, I spent so many nights going through these darn things. That's why I offered to share them with you because it's, you
No,
know, yeah,
because for me it was, how should I say? I mean, I started with like for the smart contract, and then you have these denoms. But on the other hand, you have like the secured assets. And there is also trade assets and some SUNT and other kind of like app layer created tokens actually. And what I did like 2 weeks ago with heavy AI usage was unify all of them. And now I have this like asset page, which actually shows all different kind of assets and they're unified because you have a lot of different USDC, which basically is USDC. But for example, WBTC is not really Bitcoin, right? I mean, yeah,
no, rap
but
Bitcoin is not
it's
Bitcoin.
not
Not the
Bitcoin.
same thing,
But
people.
the
Not the same thing.
secure asset Bitcoin is actually Bitcoin. So yeah, this was quite a lot of work to unify all these assets into one thing. Because yeah, I mean, you have in different parts of the ecosystem, you are using different notations of stuff. So that was really quite a pain. And now what's missing, as you said, is like just make sure that all of them have logos and stuff. So the metadata here is not that good yet, but the first step was to actually unify the whole data structures to get them all basically. Yeah.
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. I'm just blown away at how much effort you put into the site, man. I know Kenton's like feeling the vibes because he's put a lot of effort in
Yeah.
his side, so he knows how much work you put in this damn thing. I'm along for the ride, man. If you want to just keep going, like,
Good, yeah.
I never know what's gonna pop up next.
um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I can show you these.
What's the everything map? What's that? That catches
That's
my eye.
that's a stupid site because it's just visualize everything and it crash your browser. But like,
At least you're on it.
At least.
yeah, so it actually loads all the objects, all the contracts, everything. It's in the database. It's not from chain; it's from the database, and then it's visualizing it, and it's takes a while.
Well, so might have to optimize that one, but that one,
Yeah.
oh my god!
Oh,
look-
wow.
Now you can see the ecosystem, and for example, each of these green dots is an instantiated smart contract. These two guys are like DCA in and out because each
Are
of
you
the DCA,
kidding me? This is crazy, man.
This
Like,
is-
what the
this
heck?
is the app layer visualized. And each of this triangle here is actually a smart contract code, and the green thing is an instantiation of the smart contract. And so, yeah, this is like just everything map, but you can have this same map here on the dev, which just like give me only the smart contract without the teams and all the stuff, which makes a little bit more sense because here actually you can see what's actually deployed on the app layer. Because I'm not sure if you're aware on THORChain or on Cosmos Wasm in general, you deploy actually the code and then you instantiate it into a contract, into an address. And so the developer can upload a new code and then migrate the address to the new code, basically. And here you can see all the smart contracts currently deployed. So if you zoom in, you can see, for example, here are some part of the redacted. Here is the swap router from Liquidity. You have here some DAO stuff. Calc is there. Then you also have like the virtualization strategy somewhere.
Holy moly, man!
Oh yeah, I mean, Hans and the team were working quite a lot. I mean, here you have all the merge contracts, and these bubbles are
Look at
just
that.
fucked. I mean, it's because of the denom. It's because of the denom, because the name of the denom is like super long, like credit, yada 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 yada, BTC, USDC from this address, right? But actually, these are the credit accounts of Ghost. And these are I assume this is another DCA out bubble. And yeah, so basically these are all the contracts which are deployed on chain, and you can also find them here. So here you can actually see the codes, which are the numbers which are deployed on chain. For example, for Brune here is the contract at the moment 174. And there is one contract which is actually the Brune contract. And if you click on it, you can see all the internals and also for devs, some toolings. And here you can also see the source is actually Brune. And here you also have the actual source code because this is this contract currently deployed on chain. Because that was I building like a second thing that like monitoring all the codes and instantiation and addresses of the smart contract. Which is like these three. It's like the codes, the contracts, and actually the sources, which are like, yeah, the repository where the codes live. So if anybody want to learn Cosmos Wasm, here is all open source, and you can read the stuff that Hans built, like Merge, Vault. Here is the virtualization strategy. So yeah.
Shout out to Hans. Okay, so like here,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is so
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I am so glad you showed this because Hans is always working, and no one really gets to see it because it's code,
Yeah.
right? And like your visualization, dude, that one bubble with all the freaking white lines is just like incomprehensible because it's just a vast amount. Like just
Can you go
shows
back to
you,
it, please?
dude. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I
That's like
mean,
one of the
that's exactly the point. Not a lot of people are actually aware what's going on in the lower layer, even if this is not the lowest, because L1 is another topic, right? This is like the app layer. But even on the app layer, that's all stuff which is now live, working, audited, and yeah, most of
So-
them have a front end.
So you
That is
guys
freaking
know
crazy.
you know the power law thing that's going around with Bitcoin, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
The what?
The power law and Bitcoin price.
No.
Maybe I'll explain it. So you know the stock to flow model
Yes.
that's been around for a long time. All right. Well, now there's a power law model, and it's the same idea. It's like the way to predict the Bitcoin price, and everyone comes up, or everyone has like their own equation, power law that the Bitcoin price is following, but it's basically following a consistent power law and within the bands and stuff like that. And Severin, did we lose you, or are you just taking
No,
a break? Okay,
that's good.
okay. And but this power law, so the actual formula that the Bitcoin price is following is a similar formula that like organisms follow, and growth rates of various, whether it's a cell or the herd of wildebeest or trees in a jungle or whatever. And there's all these fractals of the same power law, the same formula. So it's kind of like you guys know the golden ratio, 1.61, something
Mhm.
like that, phi. So the golden ratio is found everywhere in nature. So everywhere there's a spiral. So whether it's a spiral of a galaxy, spiral of your toilet bowl flushing, spiral of a seashell. When you divide the radius of the inner circle to the outer circle, you get 1.6 whatever, and this is true everywhere. This ratio, this 1.6, shows up everywhere, and so people get uh, um, like they think that what that golden ratio 1.6 is like it's a godly number, like that. No, it's a proof of God or whatever. Anyway, you can get kind of deep and philosophical about it all, about how there's all these fractals in nature, in different things that exist. And so people are saying that the Bitcoin price is like an organism. It's growing at this growth rate like everything else does in life. And people are getting pretty excited about it. And so when I see Severin, what you created here is like all these cells. And like it's like like looking at an amoeba or whatever, or like a human cell with the mitochondria and I forget my high school biology, but all the other things inside the cell. Um, I can just imagine as you add more to this and there's more growth in the THORChain ecosystem, that like, what if this does start looking like an organism, a live living thing, and how it's all interacting with each other? Um, it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah. I mean, what I mean, this is like the smart contract level, which you can see the complexity here, right? And recently, I'm not sure if you saw on the Rujira page. Um, is this on my screen now? Yes. They added like a lot of marketing content as well, and I'm not sure. I think it's here at the bottom. I think it was the architecture. I mean, here, if you have a look at the whole architecture they building, you can see also a lot of stuff already with the base layer and then the app layer, and on top, like automation, redacted privacy, and then like all the products and other teams. And so basically, this is like the abstraction of what we just saw before as actually on chain, right? So it will be pretty awesome, I would say. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it always takes a little bit longer than expected, because I mean, it was already now 2 years ago since Rujira started migrating to THORChain. But there was also a lot of different hiccups, which the team was not actually aware before they started implementing stuff. And yeah, but I think now it's already started getting the feeling that we can actually start promoting the app layer as well, because now the UI feels more polished. It still needs a little bit, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool to see that whole thing evolving.
Yeah, I mean, we're about to get,
Ah, I
we're
showed
doing
the
our
wrong.
best.
I
We're
showed
about
the
to get
wrong. I meant this side here. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Here on the architecture side, they showed like the whole stack with like the base layer, the app layer, and then the automation layer with all the vaults and stuff, the privacy layer, and the actual products on top. So yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I think I think what you have done here, Severin, is you've just thrown Hans like the biggest bone ever. I mean, because it's impossible to understand at a distance what all the work that's been going on, and other devs too. You've highlighted a lot of ecosystem partners. But that world map, I am so glad I asked you to show that thing, because that freaking blew my mind, man. That is just so hilarious. First thing, it's hilarious. The visualization is great. But secondly, it just shows there is so much being built. And
Yeah.
I forget, you posted this graphic before, Kenton, of just like when you reach like product market fit, like it's really slow. It's like a bunch of dots, like turning other dots, right? And then all of a sudden you just hit this mass and just and you just spreading everywhere. And man, it feels like it's going to be like an opposite funnel, right? Where we're just starting at this point, and then once we just make that connection, people understand what's been built here, and everything gets running smoothly, both on the THORChain and the app layer side. Man, to the moon, baby. Let's go. Just lots of activity, lots of swap volume, lots of utility. Man, I'm so excited. This is so cool.
What is you got to log in and sign up on the right there? What do you have to log in for or sign up for?
Yeah, that's something new. I'll come to it. I'll come to it in a minute.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but keep going. If you got a flow, I'm
yeah,
sorry. Keep going.
You're
here,
rushing this, Kenton. You're
No,
rushing this. We let him do his thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I
This
have
is
a
a
lot of
date.
stuff.
He's warming us up.
I have a lot of stuff which is more like proof of concept, but I can show you just in a minute.
Yeah, no, keep going. Yeah, please keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going in your
here
order.
under the friends, I just added like also the legacy stuff, because I still have some Cosmos things for Terra, because I built like some tracker for Terra V2, and they still like it and use it. So all that stuff is behind like the friends. And I also added a few things for Maya chain, but not that deeply as like with THORChain and app layer now. And for some communities, I also have like this NFTs tracking site, especially like the one that were active in the Terra days, especially like GMC, shout out, and yeah, some others. And at the moment, I'm not sure about the NFT community in THORChain. Like before, I think there are some NFTs.
There's
There is a
two.
team. Yeah. Go ahead.
We had
Go ahead,
two.
Kenton.
Yeah, that's actually the community page on our site is the one I like the best, and we got it on there. The community page. So there's Thor guards and uh, THORChain collectibles. I think it was called. Is the first one. Um, yeah.
But their home chain is Ethereum, I assume, or
Pardon?
their home chain is like Ethereum, or
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're both Ethereum based. Yep.
yeah. So
But,
that's
but
some.
the imagery was for THORChain. Like it was
Cool.
made for
Okay,
THORChats.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started, but that was more like an experiment, because what you also saw that, I mean, there are so many blockchains connected to Tor. So basically, each of these segments is like you can mark it on their own. And then I started the testing here, like okay, for the community with like Dogecoin, basically this is a page Dogecoin and THORChain, because I mean this is the intersection of like having the Dogecoin connected to THORChain. And here it's more about, okay, what can actually Dogecoin holders do on THORChain, be it just swapping or also like using loans against their Doge, right? Because that stuff is live on Rujira. You can actually go there and take a loan against your Doge or whatever. So yeah, here was just a little bit experimenting with like some SEO hacks and some stuff to actually help this community. Like in the long term, it's more like some content pages I let AI generate and style them a little bit, but also still connecting to the data I actually have.
I think that's great, man. We have all these exogenous, so every exogenous asset, whether it's Quai that's coming, Tau, Zcash, Monero, whatever, they all have their own niche. They have their own community, their own, and giving them a community hub spot where they can see exactly what they can do. Like that might be the thing we link to, right? Like that's
Yeah.
really cool, man. I love it.
Yeah, that was my idea, that if I'm in contact with someone from, let's say, the XRP Ledger guys, which you also had some
Yeah.
nice podcasts, I will just send them here, because here is like for me the entry point for them. That's also like something I have in mind with this site, to have just some good links to send to people. Yeah.
You're doing the Lord's work here, my friend. Like, this is just, I didn't even know this was happening, and you have put so, like, again, I can't emphasize how much time this obviously took. I mean, thank God there's AI tools to help you be more efficient, but this is just solid work, dude. Like,
Yeah,
props,
thanks.
kudos, man. I'm not saying that for effect. Like, I like, legitimately, when I give compliments, I mean it. Like, this is great. This is great, dude. Nice job. I
Yeah, and then
salute
I
you.
mean, here it's like my admin menu, which has a lot of old stuff. Because I was also like in a few hackathons, like with the Terra guys. I meet them in Istanbul, where I also met like guys which now working for Rujira. And from the hackathon, like my plan was always to like visualize in the Terra days actually the liquidations. But in hindsight, I'm pretty happy that I did not implement it, because it would be like a bloodbath. But I always like this like real time data. And with the AI, what I actually started, I'm not sure if you can see it on the top right side, you have just like the THORChain block count, which is actually live subscribed to the backend, which I'm now running my Tor node for it. And then I started using AI to see what it's actually capable. And I built this like live app layer contract view, which is now waiting for contracts to actually be executed on the THORChain. And then it just tracks them here, like in a live feed on all these kind of contracts there are. At the moment, there is not that much activity. Maybe I should generate one. Oh, it's hard to demo.
Holy crap, man.
I can just leave it open. Yeah, because the cool thing is with the AI, it can build you like a nice GUI, and it's like even if the backend is disconnecting, it reconnects, and yeah, it's pretty cool what's possible these days. Now we have one. Somebody bought like a Rujira Fin, was an order where somebody, was like some transaction here.
Okay, because a lot of the audience may not know what fin means, right? So, can you break down what fin is? Yeah, what that means? Because I know the whale names get people confused, get me confused too.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually the Rujira order book spot market. So like the on-chain product. And I mean, a lot of stuff is now inside this product in the spot market. Also, like the whole concentrated liquidity, which they launched recently, and all that stuff is all basically around Fin. It's like the code name of trade.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Hey, real quick, I'll take a small break here. You've had a lot of interaction in the community, man. So first off, people love your look, dude. So, Cedric says the only THORChain that looks like he can throw a hammer more than 3 feet. I like that. It's the beard. I told you the beard was going to be a winner, man. I told you,
Shout
100%.
out to Cedric.
Yes. And then another one says, this looks awesome. We are so blessed to have people like this in our community. Shout out also to Lord Boone, to another beauty, no homo. This is great, man. So you're really winning the hearts and minds. I just love, I'm so glad Kenton invited you on so we could just highlight this, because I'm sorry, I don't mean to be boring, guys, but this is just so much work. It's blown me away how detailed this is. I'm actually curious what you haven't put on here, because I don't know. I like everything on here is, I can't think of anything else, man.
Yeah, what one thing which is not completed, but I just started because I always had the idea that you can use like real-time chain information to do like some art stuff and like just some fun stuff, right? It doesn't always need to be super serious. I'm not sure if
Sure.
you know this website called Transaction Street, where you can see like the
Yes.
Bitcoin blocks and they go hop into the bus and drive away. And I'm still working on something like that. So that's not done yet. But I really want to do something similar, like just to
For
visualize the whole ecosystem.
exact for like THORChain and Rujira, right? Like SWAT, like
Yes.
people. Oh, dude, that would be. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If you build that, man, that would be so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But also with the 13 different connected chains, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
it
Yeah, it's
will
a
be
lot.
will not be just one street. It's quite a highway, I would say. So yeah, but that's still work in progress. But what I started, or actually what Claude built me like in 2 evenings, I would say, is like this one. It's like actually it makes music based on the THORChain events. and you can go there, but you need to click the start button because otherwise you are not allowed to generate sound. And then if you start it, you can actually see the blocks. And depending on the timing of the block, the speed change. And if you hear a synth sound, actually that was a smart contract execution. And so that's just like a proof of concept, but I really liked it. Like do some
Oh
things
my
with
God.
Dude, I
on-chain
love
for me.
this. This is awesome.
This is like the
So
coolest thing ever.
this is a audio representation of the actions on app layer or THORChain in total?
Both. Like their swap sounds different than the smart contract interaction as the app layer. And the Oracle updates, I think they also trigger some different kind of sound.
What a shame we are paused right now, because we would just be like, I'm sure we would just be bumping like crazy right now. The moment we go back online, I'm going to this thing and I want to hear the music,
we gotta
man.
remember to do this, Denny. So like
Yes.
what happens when THORChain and app layer is huge and there's like millions of things of transactions going on? Is this gonna be like blah, like just blaring at us?
I'm no idea. Because at the moment the block time is like around a second, right?
6 seconds.
And it uses the jitter to actually modify the beat a little. But for me, 70 beats is too slow. So I need to find a way to make it like to actual nice sounds. There was also the idea that the cool thing would be that the people can actually configure this, and then you can share me your configuration, which maybe sounds completely different than mine. But that's just some brainstorming, stupid ideas about extending this thing.
How
But
fun
yeah,
would it be to have this part of our introduction, Kenton? Like before we show, like when we go live, like we just have the beat of THORChain and the app layer just killing it. You know what I mean? For like 10 seconds, and then we start the introduction, dude. Come on, this is awesome, man.
Denny's been bugging me for ever since we started to have a intro music, and I'm against it, you guys. But I think we definitely should. We got to remember to do this, Denny. We got to
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
What's the URL for this, Severin?
it's still behind hackathon/chainzones. You can find it via the data menu. It's not public.
Can you copy the URL and then post? Did you see the public chat on the right? Sorry, we forgot to show you before we went live. On the right, there's a chat icon on Riverside. There you go. Sweet. Right on.
I just love how this is so. We're not going to be attracting any girls anytime soon, but this is so max nerd. I effing love this, man.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Girls would be into this. I think they
you know, especially if if you're making lots of money and the beat is just, yeah, dude, fuck it. Let's get a nightclub strictly based on THORChain and app layer activity, man. Just everyone, dude, just high on X and just like, you know what I mean? Just going absolutely crazy, man. Like, come on.
This will be the music playing with the ecosystem organism thing on the video screens.
Yeah.
Come on, this is so freaking cool.
Like our version of Clockwork Orange. It'll just be on forever. Turn it off.
Dude, this has made my day. I am just like, you thought of this, right? You thought of this, and you're like, how cool would it be? Because you're probably like thinking background noise of the cosmos, like all that random sound. Like, how cool would it be to have a music generator based solely on the activity of THORChain app layer? How badass of an idea. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, to build this before like the AI is really quite some work. And with the AI, it's still a little bit work, but it's so much easier. So that's why I actually tried it again. And yeah, it was pretty cool to build. Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
I have no words. I'm just blown away. Okay, keep going, man. I don't even know what's going to come next. I'm just with bated breath, just sitting over here.
I mean, here it's just I was playing around with like the Midgard API, which is also pretty cool, which THORChain has, like this small data warehouse to collect stuff. I mean, at the moment, it's not a lot to see, but yeah, it's super easy. And it's also more for developers to, hey, this is the endpoint and you will get like all the top affiliates or whatever. And some toolings. And then what I was testing was like, I mean, I have a lot of data here, like about the teams, about the projects, even about all the smart contracts, right? So what I did was actually build the MCP endpoint inside my own application here. So the cool thing is that now if you connect with an AI, you can basically connect all of them. It just need to support MCP endpoints. You can actually Deving.zone as an MCP endpoint if you get a key. And then your AI has access to all this information you just saw here. So the cool thing is that the API, for example, you want to know about THORChain pools, let's say, because it's aware of the THORChain pools, right? And then you have some sample queries like give me the pool or what's the depth of the pool and all these kind of queries. And they are super nice because the MCP endpoint actually returns the real data from on-chain using the Tor node or the Midgard node. Or if you ask for like who is building on the app layer, you have this team endpoint, which then you can like give me the active team building on THORChain and you get the proper response. So that was just like something to experiment with the AI, but more like as a provider for others than to use AI myself. And yeah, that also leads me because when I was implementing this, Claude suggested me to add some rate limit or to add actually an API key, not just to make it public and everybody can just add it and terrorize you. So that's why I added like a login for people. So if you want to test this, you can just sign up here and create your own account, and I grant you credits and you can just use this tool. So that's the idea about this the login thing. Yeah. Yeah, what else? I mean, this is just like testing at the moment, but it's already pretty cool, I would say, because you can also access like the chain itself. If you ask it for the last block, it knows it. And yeah. So this was more like experimenting for myself with the whole AI ecosystem, let's say.
This guy's freaking cool, Kenton. Severin is a cool dude. I am not as cool as Severin. It is 100% confirmed at this point. Dude.
Yeah, looking forward to meet you in Vegas or whatever.
100%.
Looking
And we're
good.
going to have a direct feed of the music in the nightclub, and we're going to just be having
well,
the craziest bumping, dude. All these crypto people dancing to the activity of AppLayer and THORChain. It's got to happen. That is just insane.
yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, and I mean, I have other stuff which I was building, which is not like Showtime ready. I mean, this feature I showed you with the donation address here, I can actually make all the address you want into like something like this donate page. So which I was thinking that if you have an account, then you can just say, hey, this is my address. I want to also have a similar donation page. And then you can just have your donation page, right? And what I also was experimenting with more like integration of like Mocha and payment of stuff. Because for me, it was always like, I want to have an easy way to send a friend like 5 Swiss francs. And it needs to be converted in, let's say, he want to pay in Bitcoin and I want to get Rune. So, but the currency is 4 Swiss francs, for example. So I was trying to build something around that, like with payment intent. And yeah, because there was like a project called TerraPay in the early days, which did similar things, which you could also like integrate like in online shops. But I think Mocha is doing that now because that's pretty cool that they are now live. And I really think it's one of the biggest leverage for the ecosystem because they have like recently launched their Mocha POS and Pay, so point of sales. So actually you can set up your store and actually accept payments in any currency, and it's all settled on THORChain. And it's pretty cool what they're building. And I
Absolutely
somehow want to integrate with this Mocha Pay because I mean there is a billion of online shops, and it would be pretty cool to have like
There you go. Yeah, sell some services, sell some merch or something on the site,
Yeah.
man. Or you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. And then I love it. Boom.
Because
Yeah.
if I want to buy merch of THORChain or App Layer, I don't like to use the credit card. It's like
Sure.
why?
Yeah. That's
So
what
yeah,
Mocha does. It makes that shit obsolete, right? So love
exactly.
it.
And it's now open beta, and I'm pretty sure they will rock heavily. So yeah. Um,
Real
yes.
quick before we continue, sir, I just want to remind people whether they're listening live in the recording or this isn't, or listening live or is recording. Excuse me. If you want to support this guy, please go to Deving.zone. Deving.zone. You scroll down all the way to the page, and then the support Deving.zone button will be right there to access that donation. If there's anyone who deserved donation for their hard work, it is definitely Severin, you guys. So whether you're listening live or the recording, please consider doing that. This is really, really cool, and I definitely want this guy to keep going because I don't know what the heck is going to build next, but I've been blown away. But I'll kick it back to you, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. But yeah, your club ID, I think it needs to be more like club sound. It's at the moment it's a little bit slow, so yeah, I will improve this one for sure.
Oh yeah, we'll dial it in. We'll dial it in. Just have, get some activity, and then you just have AI in the background just kind of make sense, not like just a bunch of chaotic noise like Kenton was worried, because
Exactly.
it's got to have rhythm, you know what I mean?
Can
But if
can can you can you do both? Like, have, like, a slow one, a club one, like, a rock and roll one?
Exactly.
some
Yeah.
Like,
jazz,
can you have
smooth jazz.
different, styles?
Yeah, I think I really want to push this idea with you can create your own template of the values of the configuration. And then you can just have a link and share it, and everybody can see what you configured, and you can modify the stuff on your own and do your configuration. So it's more like a generic synthesizer thing. So yeah.
There's a
But
lot of
then it
people
is,
in our community who play with music, like French Chat and a lot of others. So guys, like, go
yeah,
here, have fun. Let's make a music generator. Just this really fun. Like,
yeah, why not?
I think that's why I'm so glad you built that, because a lot of things in the community, a lot of things that make things attractive is the vibe and and just having fun. And if something's fun, it's just naturally attractive, right? Like, and I
True.
would love to just share that link or take a recording of it, of like real activity, and just like people would be that's just so cool. You know what I mean? Go ahead. I interrupt you, buddy.
Yeah, no, but it's true because for me it was like I built this, and then I mean you have some activity on chain anyway. But then I went there and did like a swap, and then you can hear the sound because I thought it was like nice. It's like, yeah, I mean, in the end, it's just visualizing or collecting what's on chain anyway. But yeah, in a different way to make it also a little bit fun and yeah, yeah,
This podcast has been like the best surprise for me so far of 2026. I had no idea what to expect, and man, you've just blown me away. When this is done, this podcast is done, I am gonna go to your site and just click around and just have so much fun, man. I'm telling you, 100% that's what's happening.
cool, yeah. And I always open for feedback. I really like if people send feedback or feature IDs or whatnot. So yeah,
If you guys are gonna get feedback, give them a donation too. Okay, sling them a little something. You know what I mean? It might motivate them a little bit on the feedback part. So, yeah, man, very cool. Okay, so have we gone through the stuff? Is it now to talk about the login sign up thing, or do we still have more to dissect?
no, I think at the moment it's just like you can sign up if you like and you get an account. There is not that much there to do yet. Expect you get the credentials for the MCP endpoint if you want to use AI with this site. So yeah, you can sign up and get your account. And I also, but it's still in the building stage. I'm not sure if I think it's not visible yet.
Okay, so maybe
Yeah.
maybe talk about like okay, what is your grand vision here for sign up and login? Like what are the main things you want someone to really like to do that? Like what perks does that give?
I mean, one thing is that you have like your identity. I'm not sure if what's the best way if you want to have like login with email classic or like with Google or with Telegram or just sign a transaction on chain or whatever. But in the end, it's like that you have like an account, for example, for the Telegram stuff that you can get like notifications, that you can have like your favorite wallets and addresses you want to watch, which makes sense to have some kind of account. Um, yeah, so that's one part. And the other is like just for like, yeah, authentication about a few feature I'm building, like the thing with the payment or the donation feature, so you can actually manage your donation page. So yeah, it's not really planned much things. Maybe in the future I will move a few feature behind, like you need to be logged in. especially the one that terrorized the nodes. But yeah, so that's basically the idea at the moment. Um, yeah,
I love it,
and
dude. Yeah. Wow. Kenton, do you have anything like this has just been really fun. So
Yeah,
much
no,
fun.
man, it's been great. It was actually perfect. It was great for you to go through each page, explain it, tell us about it. It's the best way to talking about it just wouldn't have done this justice.
No.
You got to show us.
yeah,
Um,
it's much
so
easier.
hopefully the audience appreciates. This is why we moved to Riverside. Stop doing spaces so we can do more visual. If
Mhm.
we're doing this on a space, this would not have hit. You wouldn't blown Denny's mind at all.
No.
He would have been bored. Uh,
Yeah, there's nothing
um,
like seeing this stuff. I mean, like,
yeah, you gotta just see it.
I'm a
Yeah.
simple creature. Jingle some keys in front of me and I'm clapping and salivating on myself and I'm excited and like this is what it's all about. So, yeah, this is why, man. Great job.
But you're but this is still how close you think your site is to done? Like, how much more you gonna be adding or updating here over the
I
next.
assume there it will never be done, but
It's a
yeah,
work in progress all the
yeah, it's
time.
always work in progress. But
Yeah.
yeah, there will be some release because I mean, this famous question about when, right? So
When moon, Severin.
when
Yeah,
whatever.
when?
So
When?
yeah, my AI built like a small tool, and it's called when board, and you can add like when question, like when on THORChain and when life again. And so yeah, I'm not sure if I really want to push that, but it could be a nice way of like the teams managing some expectation about when. And yeah, so I was testing like about the when tracker actually, where you can have different states of the whens. So yeah, that may be something I want to push a little bit further
Well,
because then
there's like one of the things on App Layer, like they say it's possible to have prediction markets. And so I wonder if you can turn this into a prediction market. Or this could be the embryo of one.
yeah, that could be the next step that you then can bet on this when, huh?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. And if it's things happening on chain on THORChain, that's our like these betting programs, they need some way to prove like what's the actual variable that we're monitoring to for it to occur. If these are things that are happening on chain on THORChain, you'll be able to know to the block when it occurs, right? So we don't necessarily like the outside stuff we'll need an oracle for, but the on chain stuff you don't. It's all on chain. You should be able to.
True. Yeah,
So for like the when XMR on THORChain, that we will know on chain. We won't need a outside source, a data source. We'll have it on chain. Um, that'd
yeah,
be interesting.
that would be interesting.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. So for the
I
moment, was more the idea that if somebody asks this when question, you can just send them to the when board, and then you can find the whens.
I'm absolutely gonna do that. When I'm gonna put it in Telegram, I'm gonna make a little thing where if I put in when and they can go right there and put it in themselves. I love it. I feel so sorry for Coke because I make little notes and half these notes he's not gonna have any idea what I'm talking about. Like I want to have the when tracker, the when tracker. He's like, what the hell is what is even happening? So, oh man, I can't wait for him to be so frustrated. It's gonna be beautiful. Awesome. Dude, this is just sheer brilliance, man. Your mind's all over the place in the most amazing ways. Like the when tracker, like that's great.
Yeah, because I was talking about with I think Erudite from Rujira, and it's I mean normally the team get distracted by this when question, right? Because it's not really productive. But sometimes it's like, yeah, the community just want to ask these questions, right?
Shout out to
So,
Erudite. Yeah,
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna forward you to the when generator if you keep pestering Hans and Erudite and Pragmatic Monkey about your damn when questions. They're working on it. It'll be done when
Exactly.
it's done.
monetize it, turn it
Just
into
send
Yeah,
prediction
them to
market.
these URLs and you're
totally.
done. Like
Yeah.
jitsu, like move the energy around.
Monetize it indeed. That's a brilliant idea from Kenton. I
Yeah,
love this, man. There's so many fun things you can do. I love it.
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
So that
I'm sure people would love to bet like one rune on stuff like this or whatever, right? And just have
yeah,
some fun
that's
with it.
true.
Um, Who knows? Maybe someone wants to bet more. I mean, that's up to them, right? It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Hard to get more fair than what we got. Everything's open source and it's a permissionless protocol. It's decentralized. That's conducted by node
It
consensus.
it
So
it
uh,
probably is the best way to launch a prediction platform on an app layer
yeah.
are events that occur on THORChain. And that'll help iron it out, get the process going, make sure it works. Then we can worry about using the Oracle to get outside events. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and then,
uh,
it's okay if, like, someone makes a bet in prediction market and then they work towards that goal. I mean, that would just that would just increase
yeah,
more community involvement, like, who cares, you know what I mean? That would
yeah,
just be
yeah,
really
yeah, totally.
you know?
Min min we want all those wins to be completed. So if someone's
Hey,
gonna manipulate it to be done sooner, great. Um, yeah,
Yeah, but normally if you reach this deployment of the feature, then the community immediately asks the next when, right? I
yeah,
mean, now the question is when we are back live.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
5 minutes later it will, okay, now when XMR
yeah.
and this and this and this. So yeah, I mean, but that's like normal.
my
Yeah.
next note, when prediction market game theory, Coke's gonna have is he's gonna have an aneurysm. I love it. This is so awesome. Okay, man. So, wow, this is fantastic, Severin. I don't know if I have any more questions, honestly. Like, I really just want to get my hands on this and start playing with it, and I'm really excited to make this more well known in the community. This was a great first step in that. And I am so excited to see what comes next. I'm really glad to hear that this is not going to have an end date, that this is a passion project that's just going to keep going. And I encourage people out there to look at the site and contribute and to help make it better because as far as I know, Severin, has this been your one man crusade, or do you have other people who help you build it as well?
No, this is the one man crusade project for
One
me.
man crusade. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice, nice,
Wow.
awesome.
Wow.
Well, Severin, is there, um, the floor is still yours. Is there anything else you want to go over? Something else that maybe we missed that you want to bring up?
No, I think
Um,
not directly, no.
no.
I mean, there is so much stuff to talk about, like future IDs and stuff, and where the whole space will evolve. Um, but yeah, as I
What you
said,
want
I
to talk?
mean,
Yeah, if you have some ideas, you have some commentary you want to make, go
Go
ahead.
for it.
Yeah.
for me, it's more like with the app layer, like prime time readiness. Let's say it still needs a little bit to have like very smooth onboarding experience and everything. I mean, all the wallets and all the stuff just needs to work perfectly. Because I also recently had a friend which, I mean, he was able to do everything in the end, but it just felt too complicated still for him, even if he's like used to DeFi stuff. And yeah, I think there still needs to be some small things done. But if you can have a look at like the app layer itself, like the Rujira website, a lot of stuff also got improved much more, like in the over the recent 1 2 months. So yeah, because there was a huge refactoring a few months ago, maybe 3 4, and then it felt a little bit apart because you need to polish everything again. But now, if you haven't tried it, I would definitely say give it a spin, and also like try to find all the hidden feature on Rujira because I think there's a lot of them. Yeah,
Yeah. And I think you're actually helping iron out and make this process a smoother for new entrants into our ecosystem. And I applaud you for that. You're not just sitting idly by waiting for things to happen. You are making things happen. And I appreciate that personality like no one else. And I encourage other people to emulate it and do your own thing. And me and Kenton will be more than happy to have this hypothetical person on a future episode as well and highlight the work you've done because this was definitely worthy of definitely this podcast. I mean, I'm I'm blown away. I'm blown away, and I cannot wait until we get swap volume. First off, swap volume, so we're making money, but like now I'm seriously like emotionally connected to that music generator, and that's what I want to experience. I want to know what that's like on just a
yeah,
busy day. So cool.
exactly.
Well,
Oh,
maybe we'll stop sharing your screen there then, Severin.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
yeah, if you ever, like you said, this is a work in progress for you.
Yeah.
So, a few months go by, 6 months, a year goes by, whatever, and you have a bunch of new features, things you've updated, like let us know. We'll have you back on. and
Mhm.
you can run us just like you just did. You run us through them all again. That'd be great. Um, love to stay in touch with your work and what you're doing. Um, so don't be shy. Feel free to reach
Yeah.
out to me or us to let us know.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think, what do you think?
Well,
We'll wrap her up here. It's been going on almost 2 hours. What do you think?
I think so. Unless Severin has any more last chance. Severin, anything else to talk about?
no, I think it's yeah, just be curious and check out the stuff that's already built.
Oh,
Right.
you better believe it, man. That's what I'm looking forward to most when this podcast ends. Let me tell you. Well, gosh dang it, guys! I got to say, this has been the most surprising podcast for me of 2026. I did not know what to expect, and my expectations. The world map is absolutely hilarious. I cannot wait to just look at that again. It's so funny. Guys. Just a reminder to everybody, if you'd like to become a node operator on THORChain, need some help, please reach out to @Runetard on X. He will help you get set up and find bond providers. For THORChain data and insights, you can check out Severin's site as well, but also follow @RayAnalytics on X. He does written recaps on these podcasts too. And good luck, sir, on written a recap on this one, because there is so much to talk about. This is going to be a fun one. And always remember, guys, the views expressed are solely of those of the hosts and guests. Any action taken based on this information is at your own risk. Past performance is not indicative of future results. The THORChain and Rujira community does not endorse or condone illicit activity of any kind whatsoever. We're going to have our Thursday space again next week, guys. Just a reminder, if something happens, technically, well, not technically, we are stopped. If we need an important update or something like that, we could have a quick podcast. I know Kenton and Chad have been doing that. Who knows? But just putting it out there. Next Saturday, guys, we're going to be having Goose from Zephyr join us. I'm really looking forward to that. So keep an eye out for that podcast, and we hope to see you all there. With that out of the way, guys, hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.